What's up everyone? So for today's video, I decided to start using this Cook Once Eat All Week book that I actually have had for a few years, but a friend was borrowing it and she just gave it back and I was super excited because I totally forgot just how convenient this book is. So especially with groceries being so expensive, I figured this could help save money. This book focuses on like 2 to 3 ingredients per week and it gives you 3 different recipes to make with those few ingredients. That way you're not spending a bunch of money buying a whole bunch of different ingredients for a whole bunch of different meals. And then it gives you 2 extra dinners that you might need if you don't have a bunch of leftovers that are also really easy. This cookbook is gluten-free and a lot of stuff could be made low carb or paleo. So it does tell you the substitutions that you would need for that, but it already has the grocery list in it. It's just super easy. So we're gonna go ahead and we're going to do week 1 and we're gonna see how we like it. So obviously I have my little helper here with me. So I'm actually starting out with one of the extra dinners. I'm doing week 1. So the 3 ingredients were shredded chicken, carrots, and broccoli. But this is actually one of the extra dinners, which was roasted carrots, steamed green beans, and salmon. The reason I started out with this is because I bought the salmon fresh and I didn't want it to like sit in the fridge for too long. So I just peeled the carrots and I'm just slicing them into some like thick pieces. I'm doing olive oil, salt, pepper, and then the recipe actually said lemon zest and lemon juice. These carrots were delicious. I just roasted them in the oven until they were tender, and then I prepped my green beans, which I just got some fresh green beans and I cut off the tips and cut them in half, and then those I just steamed in a little bit of water. Now Alvin actually made the salmon and I forgot to get any type of footage from that, but he did just bake it in the oven with some lemon slices, and this was a really good meal. Alice really enjoyed it too. She actually really loved the green beans and carrots, and she's usually not like a huge vegetable lover, so I'm really glad that she enjoyed those. Okay, now we're actually getting into the prep for the 3 ingredient week. So like this is actually like week 1, and in the book she has you do the prep and then everything is kind of ready for you to throw together the meals the rest of the week, and then that way you're not having to sit and eat, microwavable leftovers. Who wants to do that? I am making my rice in the Instapot because that's how I love to do it. So I do pretty much equal parts of rice to water. I do a little salt, oil, and bay leaf, and then I always pressure cook it for 4 minutes, and then I leave it sit for 10 minutes, and this makes like the perfect rice. So as that's going, I am prepping my broccoli. Part of the broccoli is just cutting florets to save, and then the other part is to make like a broccoli rice of sorts. So I'm using my food processor just to rice that up, and then right after that, I prepped my carrots, which again are just like in the food processor. They're kind of like little pieces of carrots. I didn't even have to clean the food processor because this is going in the same recipe. I also am someone that loves to clean as I go, and so I meant to like time how long this whole prep was gonna take me, and I think I got it all done plus cleaning up within Alice's nap. So I am now cutting up some onion and some garlic. The onion I'm saving because it's actually going in the very first recipe that I'm making for this evening. And then the garlic I split between a dish to put away with some ginger that I needed for that dish, and then the other half of the garlic went in the onions that I was going to use for like this first recipe. And then I just cut up the spring onions. So this is what the prep looked like. It was like the riced broccoli, the riced carrots, the spring onions, the garlic and onions, and the whole broccoli. And then this was the rice that was perfect in the Instapot. I also forgot to show that I made all the chicken in the Instapot. I just slow cooked it all in one day, actually the day before this. So we're gonna get started on the white chicken chili. So again, super easy. I already have my stuff like pretty much prepped and chopped. So I'm starting with some oil, and I get to throw in the onions and the garlic that I had just cut up, and then I opened up some of my cans. While I was waiting for the onions and garlic to cook, of course, I'm cleaning up, the mess that I made. So I'm adding my green diced chilies, and then this is the chicken that I had prepped. So yeah, I had slow cooked like, I think it was, 5 or 6 pounds of chicken. I forget what the recipe said, but I just did it all at once, and then all the chicken was cooked for all the rest of the meals. I am adding the spices, so it was like salt and pepper and chili powder and stuff. Now I will say that this soup was very mild, so it was perfect for Alice, but Alvin and I definitely added more spice to our bowls. This is like not spicy at all. I added some homemade bone broth, and then it did call for bacon, but I had accidentally used the bacon for a breakfast. So I just used some bacon bits that I had, and then some of the beans and a bag of frozen corn. I just let that cook for a couple minutes just to heat up because everything is already pretty much cooked. And then we added some sour cream to it, some of the green onions that I chopped up. So this is the first meal. And like I said, oh, I also forgot about lime juice. So I added fresh lime juice. But this was a very good meal, very, very mild for if you have kids. You could definitely spice it up, but I didn't want to spice up the whole pot since we feed Alice like what we're eating. We ate it with some avocado, and then here she is. She's really enjoying it. So she got to eat the soup. The chicken was super soft for her because of being slow cooked. Now on to the next one, chicken broccoli fried rice. Now we actually got a Blackstone in the last few weeks, so we're actually going to make this out on the Blackstone. I am pulling out all the ingredients that you saw me prep earlier, and this is like a whole different day, you know? So it's just super nice because when it's time to actually cook, a lot of the stuff is already made. Alice is enjoying her new water table that we got for her, while Alvin is getting the Blackstone ready for us to make this dinner on. So he's just heating up some oil, and then he's going to start out with the broccoli florets since those are like the biggest item to cook from raw. And then we added the carrots, and then it's some sesame oil and coconut aminos, and I think it was salt, garlic powder, and red pepper flakes, I think. And then he's adding the ginger and the garlic cloves and some of the spring onions that I had cut the other day, and then the pre-cooked shredded chicken and my pre-cooked rice. We're adding half of that because the other half is for the last meal. And he's just kind of stir frying this all up. And I also forgot to get footage, but this had 3 eggs in it. So he did like scramble 3 eggs, and this was so good. So easy, so fast. The broccoli turned out absolutely perfect. Like not too crispy, super yummy. And Alice also enjoyed this as well. These are really good meals for if you have a baby. All right, so the last like meal that is with those ingredients is this barbecue chicken and rice. Now I will say this meal was not really my favorite. It didn't have very many ingredients, so it is really easy, but I just don't prefer having like that sweet barbecue. Now this is with the riced broccoli, and you cooked that with some butter, and you put the rest of like the rice in there, and then you added the chicken and just a little bit of spices, and then barbecue sauce, which I get this Kinder's barbecue sauce because of a recommendation from a friend, but I just did not enjoy having this just all one barbecue dish, so I would not make this again. It's not like it was like terrible, but definitely out of the other meals that we've eaten, this was not my favorite. But I have a friend that also has this cookbook, and she said a lot of the other meals in the book are better than this first week one, but I did not realize that when I first decided to do week one. Alice was not actually a huge fan of this meal, probably also from the barbecue sauce. And then very lastly, the other like extra meal that's just like the meat and the veggies was steak with sweet potatoes and spinach. And I was really bad at getting footage from this, so I didn't actually get all of the footage, but I just made some like sweet potato kind of fries. I cooked up some spinach in a pan with butter, and we made some T-bone steaks from my deep freezer because I get a quarter cow. We put those on the Blackstone, and so that was the last meal. I would love to make another one of these videos and just keep cooking throughout the book. So if you guys are interested, please let me know down in the comments, and maybe I could even add up just how much it costs like to cook from these meals for dinner. Let me know if you're interested in that. But thanks for watching. I'll see you on another video. Bye.